OK。 さっき新しい動画をアップしました。エピソード134は時を書くです。よろしくお願いします。金終わった。疲れた。 ます。
Lunch dates and coffee breaks, Tuesdays and random days. It's how we spend the worst days of our lives. Your sister doesn't like me much. Your father thinks that I'm a nut. Your son and daughter just don't wanna choose. Everything you wait and see. There's a big old world and it's calling you and me. Seattle's cold and I don't like New Orleans. There's a place I know.
ワン、ツー、マイクチェック。
All night long, yeah. We dance with our razor tongues and all day long, yeah. We reset under burning sun, catching the waves, inhale, exhale, reminiscing the bygone time. Laugh till we cry, days flying by, flying by. Love on delay, push play, let it roll and take you away. Love for a day, replay. We don't care about what they say. If I go on, nah, nah, and you go on, nah, nah. No love on a holiday. 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 All night long, we're running too fast on fumes and all day long, yeah. Lying around with our favorite tune, slumber away, inhale, exhale, dreaming about summer nights with you, sweeter escape, dream wide awake, yeah. Walking down the avenue where we used to play, the house on the corner is still the same today as it was when we were children.
innocent as innocent can be. I borrowed all your records, you borrowed mine from me. We sat and talked for hours in a box hung in a tree, and we stole your daddy's last bottle of gin. Those were the times, those were the ways. So take me back, so take me back to the good old days.
So I'm happy I got free. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. I won, got it done. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I wanted the door hit when I leave. Shoulda known by your rap sheet that you weren't nice, but now I am telling you I'm going to smile. But I would never, ever, ever would have believed them, no reason. Sometimes the truth is hard to see, but now the never, ever, ever seemed to be over. I saw her, so I'm happy I got freed.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve 'em. No, that don't mean money will solve 'em. Woke up dreaming of the commas, and I got $100 in my wallet. I've been trying to make it, do it for my mama. I ain't with the faking, never with the drama. She said that I make it, now I gotta honor that. Replace a Honda with the fucking Model X. Replace my exes with a couple models. She act out of pocket, now it's just a problem. I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. No, really, don't worry. I don't want no Burberry glowing like the sun, or maybe a little Mercury shooting like I'm Booker, but nobody.